The time is what's the time? The time is 2:22 a.m. I'm gonna go sleep after this, but before that, just want to start off by saying, for those that are new to this project, this is called Ramadan Reflections, which is my reflections in Ramadan. Doesn't really take a genius to work that out. Yeah. So this episode is sponsored by Human Appeal. If you click the link below, you'll see that we're fundraising, or you can head over to my Instagram, and we're also fundraising there as well. We're supporting the people of Afghanistan, Somalia, Yemen, and Syria. £70 can feed an entire family for the whole month of Ramadan. So definitely make sure you click the link in my bio and donate generously. I'm just gonna crack straight on. This episode is it's almost like a quite a kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't really plan on recording this episode, but based on something that just happened, I felt like this was the best thing this was like the topic that was almost presented to me. So my friend Mustafa Briggs, we had a scholar who's a good friend of Briggs's, my friend Briggs. I'll say Briggs one more time. No, he's a good friend of mine. The scholar was a good friend of Briggs's, but I met the scholar in Mauritania. For those of you who don't know, Mauritania is like the desert. Okay, where I went to was the desert anyway. And basically my friend Mustafa was quite upset yesterday tonight, because obviously this sheikh has passed away, and it just got me thinking that like time is running out. I know sometimes we think death isn't, we don't think it's, I don't know, do we, I don't know if we have an illusion, maybe we're stuck in an illusion that we think we're not going to die. Maybe we think we're going to beat death. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe you're stuck in the illusion that you're going to beat death. You're not. I'm just going to tell you straight. You're not going to beat death. It's slowly coming. Again, but I mean, for some, maybe a bit faster than others, but it's always advancing forward. Death is that thing that's nothing stops it. It's not like it takes a day off. It's slowly, with each and every breath, it's slowly getting closer to you. I know I'm sounding a bit morbid, but again, this is just the reality, and we don't need to run from it. Nothing should be scary about death. But yeah, no, it just got me thinking that like time is really running out for some of us. Sorry, for all of us. And if you're watching this, I think the message I just mainly wanted to get across today is that person you want to be, that job you want to do, the career you want to do, the higher self you want to become. Do it as soon as possible. Start it today, because you're not promised tomorrow. And you need to find a way to remove all the distractions in your life and start becoming the person that you need to be. Not the person that you want to be, essentially, the person you need to be. Because people might go, well, I don't want to do this. It's a very selfish way of living, these people that think like that. It's a very selfish way of living. Oh, I don't want to be this because then it would require me to have duties and responsibilities and stuff. No, there is a person that we all need to become, and that person, I believe, is the person that God ordained us and willed us to be, or at least gave us the potentiality to be. I don't know if that's a word, but I just throwing it in there. And that person that we need to be can do great things in this world. It might not do major things and affect the whole entire world. It doesn't need to be. I think everyone that's everyone's in this mindset that they need to be this biggest. I need to be the biggest and everything. If I do music, I need to be the biggest musician. If I need to do, yes, it's good to go for these goals, but your purpose, what the person you need to become, it might just be a person that helps 100 people. Now, 100 people is a lot of people. Like, let's not get it twisted. If you change 100 people's lives, that is a lot of people. But again, I think sometimes when we have this thing of like, again, being this grandiose person, I think sometimes maybe it can derail us a little bit, and we get scared at the person. We get scared of our own success, and then because of that, we self-sabotage ourselves. So then we can kind of have the excuse that, oh well, at least at least I tried or whatever. But you didn't try. People say like, oh, I hate when people, let's say we talk about Allah or talk about religion. It's like, yes, yeah, well, I tried the religion. Did you really try? Did you wait? Did you pray all 5 prayers bang on time? Did you try and read Quran every day? Did you try learn Quran? Did you try learn Arabic? Did you read books? And again, the books that like are a bit harder to obtain, maybe not the ones that are just on Amazon. I mean, like the ones where it's like you got to do a bit of digging to find these gems of a book. Did you go search for scholars and not for scholars in your area? I'm talking like, and I'm not using me as an example. Like, look what I did. But again, like when I went to Mauritania and I traveled to meet these men, because I made the decision to come back to Allah, but at the beginning I was like, yeah, I'm really doing this. So hence why I traveled to Mauritania with Mustafa Briggs, and I'm a boy from Leicester who used to, whatever I used to do is in the deserts talking to these giants in the deen. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't really planned anything for this thing. I'm just kind of letting my thoughts just flow out. Hopefully people can understand me. Hopefully that camera's recording, because I can't remember pressing the record button. Now this is going to be interesting when I look back at it. But yeah, like this is just what I've been thinking about. And again, the message I just want to get across with this episode is time is running out, and it's time to become the person you need to become. And I think deep down we all know who that person is. And I think we all know what it is we need to do. Like, I know what my next stage is, and I'll tell you what my next stage is. To maybe, again, for me, this podcast, I really do believe in it, and I'm gonna again put my all into it. It's not really a podcast, but it's like more like a self-reflective memoir thing. Something maybe I could and again, maybe it's not for, maybe I'm doing this not for my generation, or maybe not for my lifetime. Maybe it keeps on getting 100 views, and that's fine, because that's 100 people, that's 150 people that might really benefit from this. Again, I got some messages the other day from my reflections on Instagram, TikTok, and this YouTube video, this YouTube podcast, and obviously alhamdulillah, they're very positive. They're not from me, obviously. It's all Allah that's doing this and inspiring me to do this. But yeah, I just lost my train of thought then. But yeah, it's just yeah, sorry. So what I need to do is I need to dedicate more time to becoming the best version of myself. Because if I'm going to continue to do this podcast, and I'm going to continue to write my poetry and write my poems, I need to become better in all aspects. That's why, inshallah, I'm going to move to a different country, because I want to learn Arabic. And again, I know I could learn Arabic here, but I feel like it would be better, and I could take it to a much higher level if I was to leave this country and do it somewhere else. And this is what I mean, like really giving yourself to something. When you're giving, like, maybe it's just a fake sense of giving. I'm like, oh, look at what I'm doing, when really I could be doing a whole lot more, which I could. But yeah, this is like my kind of declaration to Allah. Like, look, I'm gonna leave a very comfortable situation that I'm in. Alhamdulillah, I live in this very nice penthouse with my friends. But yeah, it's just like, but I'm in a very comfortable position. I'm enjoying my time in the UK as well. Like, everything just seems to be aligned. But I know it's, even that, just because you're comfortable doesn't mean that's where you need to be. And I remember this. I read a quote from a book called The Screw Tape Letters, and it said, I'm paraphrasing, when you feel like you're finding yourself within this world, it's not yours. It's not. When you feel like you're finding yourself in this world. Wait, sorry, there. Sorry, yeah. So the quote was from a book called The Screw Tape Letters. But I'm not going to say the quote because I don't know the quote, so I'm going to paraphrase the quote. But it said, you're not finding your place in this world. The world is finding its place within you. And obviously, if we mentioned it last episode, when it's like, having the dunya in your hands and not in your heart. I think sometimes when we can find ourselves in this dunya, and maybe we're getting our job and maybe everything's starting to line up, but really we're just seeping ourselves more. We're getting more attached to this dunya, and I see it within myself. I'm not talking about other people. I could, but talk about myself. You see some people, like, maybe they get a bit of money, maybe they get a bit of respect, and you can see that the dunya's like kind of crept into them. Suddenly they like. Maybe they didn't have a lot of money and then they get a lot of money and they become like really like hoard. What's the word? Like, they start to hoard it. But really we have to remove this attachment to the dunya. And we need to go seek and search for what it is God wants us to be, and then give ourselves fully to that. And the funny thing is, in that pursuit, Allah will give you the things that you want. But like I said, maybe this podcast and what I'm doing and if I go learn a bit more in a different country, maybe all of this, again, maybe it's not for this generation. Maybe I'm planting this, what's that quote? Maybe I'm planting seeds maybe I'm planting the seeds for a tree I will not enjoy this. I don't know what the thing is, but you know what I'm trying to say. Basically, it's like, I think it was like a quote was talking about the old men that plant seeds, but they know that they're not going to sit in the shade of that tree. And obviously it's like that kind of like passing that baton on, it's all like planting it for future generations. Maybe like a kid will stumble across this, maybe 18, 19, when he's what's the word, in the future, and this is something he needs to know. Maybe the situation is still the same. People are still chances are it's going to be the same, maybe even worse, but who knows. But yeah, again, the main message of this is whatever it is you need to do, let this be the message. Let this be the sign you've been looking for. Like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I maybe? So like a little. Anyway, let this be the message to encourage you to start whatever it is. Start that poetry book. Start that album. Start writing that novel that you want to start. Start going to the gym if that's what you want to do. Start. Maybe it's a basketball thing. Maybe it's a football thing. Maybe it's a martial art you want to start. Whatever it is. Maybe it's a weird hobby like knitting. Maybe you want to be a really good knitter and help knitters around the world. Like, whatever it is that you feel like you can offer to the world, and something that you feel like Allah is pulling you to or drawing you to, just go with it. Just have a bit of faith. Stop being a little wimp and just have a bit of faith and go and step forward and just see where that road takes you and see where Allah takes you. Again, this is not advice, so no one quit your job and do it, because I'm not trying to ruin people's lives. Stay in your job. But going back to that's all I wanted to say. I think the death of that big scholar just kind of reminded me that it's like, eventually all these scholars we look up to, they will die. Think of your favorite scholar. Eventually they will pass, if like things go accordingly. They're going to pass before you. If again, if things are going in terms of like chronological order. Like they will die, and eventually it will be left to us. We will be the inheritors of the deen, essentially. And let's think, let's really look at. I'm not gonna go into the I'm not gonna go into details of what my take on where we are as a ummah, but like, look at where we are. Like, I feel like, for me personally, maybe it's just me, I feel like, again, and this is me looking at myself, I'm not looking at the people, me looking at myself, if like someone turned around and was like, oh, Umar, you're the inheritor of this deen and you need to teach people and you need to do this, I'd be like, God damn, I ain't qualified for this. But it's like, that's what I mean. So again, it's like you almost have to start preparing yourself now for what's inevitable and eventually about to come, which is the death of these great men and the great women. And we need to be able to fill their shoes, and maybe even go push it further than they could, learn more than they could. Don't just settle, because like, again, sometimes we can kind of get caught up in this, oh yeah, the past had all these great men, and things, and it's like, maybe like you too can become great in your own right, in your own small field, and whatever it is. But yeah, anyway, I'm waffling now. I can tell I'm waffling. I've got a really good waffle detector, a bit. But yeah, anyway, so stop being attached to this dunya, and that comes into basically what I'm about to say, in terms of, as you know, this podcast is sponsored by Human Appeal. We're raising money this Ramadan. This is my reflection. I think it's number 2. Third one will be out tomorrow. But yeah. We're raising money. So the link is in my bio, in my Instagram, and it's also in the description below. If you can donate £70, you can feed a family throughout the whole of Ramadan, an entire family for the whole of Ramadan, for £70. Incredible. And I feel like, yeah, we just need to pattern up. We just need to pattern up. That's what this is. We need to pattern up. This is a pattern up reminder. But yeah, donate generously. I'm going to be doing this for the next 30 days. Inshallah, we can hit a really big target. We've already hit about £6,000 on my Instagram, so that's just doing great. I feel like I'm pushing there a bit more than anywhere else, but it's really going good. Inshallah, we can touch 10k, maybe 15k, maybe 20k. Who knows? With your generous donations, maybe we hit 50k. Maybe that's what we do. Anyway, stop waffling anymore. But yeah, I really need an exit thing. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for the next Ramadan Reflections. And inshallah, you're enjoying this section project. Okay. I feel like I'm doing ASMR now. Okay, cool, I'm going. Assalamu alaikum.